Hello, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with the continuation of the Advent box, the Christmas Advent box from It's Raining Yarn. I have been having so much fun working with the yarns. And yes, I actually started in on a project that I'm going to show you, and we're going to open up the next 3 days of the calendar, as well as a couple of other goodies. And I want to thank you for joining me today, and I want to thank you for all the lovely, lovely comments in the last video. I'm having so much fun with this. Who says it has to be December to celebrate a little bit of Christmas early, huh? Okay, so without further ado, let's hop into it. All right, so before we open today's three days worth of yarn, I want to show you what I've been working on. And I had a general idea as to what I wanted to do, and I decided to go for it, and here is the result. So obviously it's still on the needles, and so this is what I'm currently working on. And so this is done in the round. Okay, so it is going to be a tube, and so on my circular needles, I cast on, I think it was about 140 stitches. Yes. And so I cast on the stitches, and then I connected so that I could continue knitting in the round. So after casting on the stitches, I joined it. I did one round of just one color. It's this sort of beachy sunset kind of colorway. Then I started in with the blue colorway. And so I alternated back and forth doing 5 stitches of the beach, 5 stitches of the sky, 5 stitches of the beach, 5 of the sky, all the way around. And I did that for 5 rounds. Then what I did was I dropped the beach, I kept the sky, and then I grabbed a new one. And then after 5 rounds of that, then I dropped the sky, kept this one, and I picked up the purple. And then I kept alternating, in that fashion. And then eventually I got up to this point here with this really bright pink and this very festive looking one. And right now the pink is going to continue up with square like here and here. And this one right here, I already cut it. It's going to be dropped, so you can see I still have my pink one. It's right now on my needle, keeping it nice and safe. And I'm really, really happy. Now, is my tension perfect? Heck no. It is puckering a little bit because I decided, even though the floats are kind of long on the inside, I'm not worried about them getting snagged because this is going to be a closed tube. So I'm not worried about them getting snagged. But because it is a long float, I really should have captured the floats so that I could avoid this sort of tension faux pas that I've been committing here with this sort of puckering. But if I captured the floats, it would be like knit 2 stitches, capture the float, knit 2 more stitches, and then swap the colors, knit 2 stitches, capture the float. Like it would be like every 3rd stitch or so, I would have to be capturing a new float. Thank you, no. I wanted to eliminate some of the fiddliness and so forth. I mean, that's why I'm doing a checkerboard. I wanted something really mindless and enjoyable, and I've been whizzing along with this, and I really like how it's coming out because since the colorway of the yarn, it's very busy. All of these different colors, they're very busy, and I didn't want to do a very complex Fair Isle pattern. I wanted something where you could actually see definitive color, and yet it is blending very nicely, I think. What do you think? I like it so far. I'm really enjoying the process. And here's the kicker. Even though the mini hanks that I have, they're like 20-ish yards, I have leftovers, believe it or not. Yeah, check this out. And I love this little pouch. So here you can see I have some little leftovers. Would it be enough to do another, 2 blocks of stitching? Probably not, because that's an additional 10 rounds. So this much, I don't think it's enough for 10 rounds. However, I'm sure I could figure out a use for this. Now, because this is hand-dyed, and because it is merino, I'm not going to toss this. This I am going to totally save and use for something. What? I have no clue. And also, at the rate that I'm going, I do have faith and confidence that I can finish my project with the yarn that I am going to be continuing to open. Now, the idea is, so I'm working in a tube format. What I'm thinking is keep going, keep going, keep going, and then eventually take those two open ends, bring them together, and then stitch them. So it's going to be sort of like a Fair Isle donut cowl, if you will. That's kind of how my brain is processing this idea. Will it work? I don't know, but I'm having fun. So, without further ado, let's open today's yarn. All right, so I already went through the box and I found days 4, 5, and 6, and I picked out 3 random gift snacky, yummy goodness baggies. So, let's see, where is day 4? Day 4. And also the reason why I want to open up 3 days as opposed to just 1 day is because that way I can sort of play around with the color placement a little bit easier. So let's see. And by the way, I've been in communication with Russ, and he's working on some acrylic boxes as well. So if you guys are interested, hop on over to It's Raining Yarn and, drop him a line. And no, this is not sponsored. I'm his friend, and I did pay for this box. I did mention that in the last video. So no, I'm not getting any kickbacks. He's just my friend, So let's see what we have here. Ooh. Okay, so this one makes me think 1980s bubblegum explosion. It's sort of like Barbie's dream house was ill. And sorry for the camera shaking. This is really, really bright. I love it. It's funky, it's colorful, and it's a screaming Mimi of a color. I like it a lot. And this one, by comparison, is gorgeously muted by comparison. See, this one makes me think of peaches and cream with a little dash of raspberry thrown in for good measure. This looks gorgeous. And actually, yeah, these two could very well and conceivably go together because you have one that's extremely vibrant and screaming Mimi, and this one is more of a reserved spinster, if you will. So I dig these so far. All right, so that's day number 4. Let's check out day number 5. But before we do that, let's open up a little food treat bag. I love this. This is so much fun. And by the way, those grandma's brownie cookies, oh, those were so good. Those were so good. All right, what do we got here? Ooh. Animal crackers. I love these. Yes, I do. When I was a kid and I would go to the grocery store, I would hound my mom for animal crackers. And it wasn't just any animal crackers. No, it was like these specifically, but they came in this really cute little box with a little string handle, and I thought I was the stuff when I was carrying that around. Don't ask me why. There's no logic or method to the madness of when you're a kid. But yeah, I had that little box Wasn't quite a briefcase, but you know, I thought I was the stuff. These are tasty as all get out. Russ, you did a good job. All right, now let's see. Let me scooch this over there. Sorry for the crinklies. Okay, so let us open up day number 5. So I figure, you know, I'm going to play around with these yarns, and then by the time I do the next video, I will have more progress made, and you can see the evolution of what I'm doing. It's fun. All right, let's see what we got today. Well, for day number 5 anyway. Oh. Okay, so we've got another really gorgeous sort of blue aqua kind of deal going on. This one is just like screaming lagoon. The other one was more sky. This one I would say is more lagoon. And then we have this lovely one. This one makes me think of pumpkin spice and chai and autumn gourds and cranberries and mulberries and Martha Stewart having a really great day. Now, with the Advent box that I had gotten from Pawply, yes, all of the yarns had names to them. If Russ came up with a name for each and every one of these, he should get an Oscar. I would not expect that of him. It's okay. You know, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, by the end of it, we're going to have 75 of these little guys. All right, so now let's open up a gift. Because I want to, you know, little this, little that, little this, little that. All right, so right now, I got a little gifty gift. Let's see. And I love the mix of, you know, everything so far. You know, it's not just one thing, it's not just another thing. It's well balanced. It's like a well balanced breakfast. You know, it's not just, you know, Lucky Charms. No, you also have the eggs, the bacon, the toast, the sausage, the juice. No coffee for the kids though. What is this? Oh, this brings back memories. This is a hand tally counter. This brings me back to when I used to work at a theater, and we had to keep track of all of the tickets and so forth. And this is really cool. I absolutely love this. Now, granted, I do have a clover stitch counter, which I absolutely love. And this, I mean, you can never have too many stitch counters. Very cool. And you can tell that this thing is definitely going to last. I've seen some where it's like got a little twisty knob on one side and a twisty knob on the other side. And I saw one recently. I'm like, ooh, they really didn't do too hot on that one. This thing, though, this is like good stuff. You know, this is more like industrial. Very, very cool. Russ, again, good job on you. All right, so we've got 2 more to go through for today. Okay, so you know what? Let's open the next gift and then we'll open the last of the yarns. Let's see what we got here. There we go. No idea what this is. Oh! It's a little ornament. Very cute. And plastic, which is good. I mean, it looks like glass, to be sure, but it's plastic, so no worry of it breaking. And it's a good thing because I always say, it's like if I ever had a job in like Fabergé or something like that, I would be broke because I'm a bit of a klutz, especially with fragile and delicate items. Now, this actually, I have an idea of what I could do with it already. Take little scraps of yarn and fill this with some little scraps of yarn, different colors, different fibers, and so forth. And also perhaps even if it is a applied yarn, separate the plies so that it has more volume and it's more foofy, if you will, and fill this with those. Because yeah, all you have to do is just take off the top there. You can pop it right back on, no problem. And so I think I might do that with this. I think it sounds like a fun idea. I've seen others that were absolutely hysterical. One of which it was a ball like this, and it had at the bottom of it a whole bunch of, it was like, what's the word I'm looking for? Kosher salt, and like maybe 3 or 4 peppercorns, and a tiny triangle of orange felt. And it was, DIY snowman, cute stuff. So let's see what the remaining yarn is for today. Let's see. Can't wait to start playing with these. Ooh, I love that one. And this one's going to bring some great contrast. Okay, so this one, like midnight. It's gorgeous. Absolutely, positively gorgeous. It's so rich in color. Really love that. And this one, I think, might be one of my favorites so far. Very, very pretty. Sort of rose petals on linen, if you will. Really, really nice. My mom would especially like this one, I know. This one's gorgeous. So, for days 4, 5, and 6, we have quite a cornucopia to work with. And this is, definitely going to undergo quite a bit of transition. Now, because as far as really strong ones, we've got these 3, which are very, very strong, and these 3, let me scooch you up there, these 3 are a little bit more muted. So if I alternate, like between a strong color and a more passive color, that could create some really nice balance. That's half of what I'm trying to do. Not just the work, but also how to orchestrate the work. That's the idea anyway. Just like how instead of doing a really busy Fair Isle pattern, I'm doing something very simple. It's just a checkerboard. If I did something that was very complex, you wouldn't be able to see it because the colorway of the yarn is so busy. So there are checks and balances in play here. Now, granted, yeah, like I said before, my tension could be better, I know, but I'm not going to sweat it. It's going to be an enclosed tube. It's going to be around one's neck. It is not going to be some extravagant fashion piece on the cover of Vogue. No, I know that. This is more, me having fun, enjoying myself, and playing with color and some really, really awesome yarn that I am really, really enjoying playing with. So, that being said, there you go. And again, if you guys are interested, check out Russ's channel. The link is in the description box down below. And there you go. That is yet another installment of the Advent Box. I hope you liked it. I certainly did. I'm having so much fun with it. Okay, so now that we've had our fun, now it's time for something a little bit more serious, unfortunately. A little bit of a public service announcement, if you will. Recently, last Thursday, I was heading off to work, and I went to the post office because I wanted to check my P.O. box and also to mail out a card to somebody, and got to the post office, parked in the parking lot, and I'm in my car, and I see this young guy walking down the street, and it seemed a little weird. He was staring at me, and my instincts, unfortunately, were correct. Walking towards my car, just sort of walking around, pacing around, staring at me, and my spidey senses were tingling, not in a good way. So I decided, all right, I'm going to wait in my car. I'm going to pretend that I'm busy on my phone for a second and wait for another car to pull into the parking lot. So I did. Another car pulled in. I got out of my car and was instantly approached by this guy who was wearing a hoodie. Hey, I like hoodies. Okay. No flack on the hoodies, but he was wearing a hoodie and he was wearing dark sunglasses, and he was wearing a mask, not the surgical kind, and he was wearing gloves. Yeah, my spidey senses were really going off on this one. At any rate, so I asked him, can I help you with something? Is something wrong? And then immediately was met with, who are you talking to? Why are you talking to me? And I'm going to leave out all of the expletives here. I don't want to make your ears bleed. And so I said, whoa, I'm talking to you. Did you need something? Like you're walking around my car, you're staring at me. Is there something wrong? All of a sudden the fists come up. His, not mine. And, threatening me, and I'm like, okay, back off, And so I proceeded to then go into the post office and asked them to call the police because I don't know what's going on. And in the kerfuffle that just happened, I forgot to lock my car door. So I look out the window and he's in my car. Yes. And I had my keys, so he couldn't go anywhere. But yeah, he was in my car doing I don't know what. And so I run outside. Hindsight's 2020. Perhaps I shouldn't have. I run outside and I start yelling at him, get out of my car, expletive, expletive. And so he runs out of my car, fists up again, then runs around to the passenger side and opens that door and proceeds to take my hoodie and bolt. And again, hindsight being 2020, I chased after him. I shouldn't have. I chased after him, yelling and screaming in the whole 9 yards. And he dropped the hoodie and he ran and bolted. Needless to say, I was shaken by the whole experience. I don't know the percentages of it, but I was scared and angry. I don't know which overrode which, but I was both. And it was quite an experience, let me tell you. And so the cops did come and they took my statement and this, that, and the other. And it was a very unnerving situation. And everybody at the post office was very nice and, very helpful and so forth. And the officers were very professional about it and they were taking me seriously, which is nice because you hear so many stories that, they just ignore, what's going on and so forth. And I wasn't hurt at all, just to clarify. And I did get my hoodie back, just to clarify. I was asked, do you want to press any charges? And I said, well, whatever's applicable. Yeah. I mean, I know that he didn't actually hit me or use a weapon. But yeah, whatever's applicable. Yeah, because this is crazy, like I just asked him if he needed any help and then all of a sudden he goes, bonkers on me. But in a nutshell, what I'm getting to in all of this that I'm saying is be mindful. Do I want any of you to live in fear? No. You have to live your life. At the same time, be mindful. And again, yeah, the whole hindsight 2020 thing, yeah, there are things that I could have done differently. I could have stayed in my car. That's one thing that I could have done, and waited for him to just mosey on along. I could have waited in my car, until he lost interest. I could have, just not waited. I could have driven away and went back to the post office the next day. Could have done that. Um, could have been more mindful about locking my car. That was on me. I get flustered, and when I get flustered, I make stupid mistakes, like many people. I mean, basically, in a nutshell, what I'm saying is don't live in fear, but be mindful of your surroundings and your situation and your circumstances and all that, because as I always say, like 99.9% of the time on my videos, stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I mean it. And I should follow my own advice sometimes. I'm not infallible. I'm a human spider. We do things that don't make a heck of a lot of sense sometimes. And then after the fact, you're like, oh, I should have done that differently, shouldn't I? Yeah. But, just as a follow-up, I was in touch with the police the following day, and they basically had me reiterate my statement, and they are going to look into, surveillance camera footage, and they will get back to me. We'll see what happens with that. But who knows? I'm just glad that not me and not anybody else was hurt in this ordeal. And me running after him for a hoodie, well, I mean, hey, I like that hoodie, okay? But was it worth me potentially getting injured over? No. Drama, right? Yeah. But fortunately, it's relatively inconsequential drama, And at the most, he might get a charge of petty larceny, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not entirely sure about the semantics, but he might get a charge of that if they ever find him, etc., etc. But I would say overall wasn't a bad experience in the grand scheme of things. Would I want it to happen to myself again, or anybody else for that matter? No. Could have been worse though. So I just want you guys to be safe. I want you to be mindful, and I want you to be observant of your surroundings, especially with, the holiday season approaching. There are a lot of, predators out there that love to, predate upon people when they are not aware of what's going on around them, because everybody is very preoccupied with their own stuff, which is understandable, and people want to take advantage of that. So please, please, please be careful and be safe. That's my PSA, okay? That's me on my little soapbox for a hot minute, and I just want you guys to be safe and be careful, and just be you, but just be safe as well. Okay, I will shut up now. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for today. I want to thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you are enjoying this Advent box as much as I am. Check out Russ's channel. It's Raining Yarn. Stay tuned for more updates, because as soon as I'm done filming this, I'm going to start balling up these little mini hanks, and I'm going to start fiddling and finagling. Let me know what you think of my current progress. Please, constructive criticism. I mean, yes, I know the tension, it's funky. I can live with it. I hope you guys can too. So listen, you guys know what to do until next time, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day.